Hello everybody, in this video I will show you how you can create new calculation cases and new discharge event. I open my model and what we see here is we have predefined discharge events here. And, I want to create a new discharge event, which is a statistic event, an HQ1 event, and then I finally want to run it and I want to look at the results. So first I have to create a new one and make a right click on it, say new discharge event. I click on it, and here I have the feature view. I will call it HQ1 annuality 1. And what I have to do is now I have to give the station. So if we look at the old ones, we have here a station and we have a discharge. And since we know from the manual that the direction of calculation is from downstream, so kilometer 0 in upstream direction, which means I need to start to define the discharge at the very downstream profile. And this is a little bit tricky, because in the exercise there are the discharges given for the HQ1 at the gauging station number, the gauging station D, and we have an additional side inflow. So we have at the gauge D, we have a discharge of 12 cubic meters per second. This is given in the exercise. And we have a side inflow at kilometer 9.21 of 3 cubic meters per second. So if we add this, so these are 12 plus 3, we have 15 cubic meters per second at the very downstream. Make this plus at the very downstream profile. So this is kilometer 0, and I have a discharge of 15 cubic meters per second. At my side inflow, I have additional here 9.214. 9.214. At this profile, I have a side inflow of 3 cubic meters per second, which means I have to subtract 3 cubic meters per second from 15, which means I have 12. And for the very upstream, 13.814, I have also 12 cubic meters per second for this event. Okay, now it's defined, my discharge event, and what I have to do now is I have to create a new calculation case. Because when I look at an old one, I see that I have to make here many settings, and here at this part I have to link a discharge event. In this case, I link this mean discharge event. What I want to do now is I want to link this HQ1 event. But I don't want to mix it up in my calculation case. That's why I create a new one, and I have two possibilities to do it. One is I make a right click here and I say new, make a water level calculation, and then I have to make all the settings again. The other possibility is I make a right click on this one, I say duplicate, and now I duplicated it. And I say this is not calculating mean discharge, this is calculation HQ1 and status quo. And I will change here the linked discharge event to HQ1. Okay, that's it already. I make a right click, I say start calculation, and the simulation starts and runs. And here automatically created the calculation HQ1. This is the new one. Here I have my results. Again, I can look at the longitudinal section. At the water level here, I can also add the discharge again. And I also have my table. Here I can, with this button, I select everything. With this button I copy it, and then I can paste it to Excel, for example, if I want to make any comparisons. Okay, I have the longitudinal view. Here I have the information for every profile. And I can also look at the inundated area for this, and I do it by opening my prepared map. Here, this is an old one. I will delete this one. So this is my prepared map. And now I can add my inundated area by clicking this green plus. I say add GML file, because results are stored in GML format. Say next, I navigate to the results, HQ1, and say Überschwemmungslinie. This is inundated area, selected, and I say finish. And now I have here my inundated area for my HQ1 event. in the planner view. Let me make a right click on it here and say properties, and here I can change the name, and this is HQ1 status quo. Okay, and I can add also an additional, or I can add as many inundated areas as I want. So for every calculation case here, I can add, for example, an inundation area. So again, I make the same. Let's say we want to add the inundated area for the mean flow event. I say again GML. Now I have to navigate to the correct event. Let's say mean discharge, and I want to use this one, data. Here. Click, finish, and this is in another inundated area. I can see it here. I can switch this one off, and this is the for the mean flow, and this is for HQ1. Of course, in the exercise, you should not compare mean flow with HQ1, but HQ1 with HQ100 inundated area. Okay, that's all the necessary information you need for this second task, and I wish you good luck, and yeah, I will see you in the next video.